Hey everybody, how's it going today? Phil Jose here with you for Reading Smoke with Phil Jose on Thursday on my YouTube channel. We're on scene with the Cleveland Fire Department today, and we're going to be looking at just some signs of an attic fire. Nothing real complicated today, but let's get the video running so we can talk about it. Before that, let me say hey, welcome everybody, and thanks for being here today. My new subscribers, Sam Fernandez, Jeff Smith, Clara Renee, and Adman Hassan, welcome aboard to the Reading Smoke Nation. Happy to have you here as always. Like and subscribe if you get value from these videos. If you're using them for training or something like that, if you have a question, never hesitate to give me a shout out on the comments and or hit me up on Facebook. I can answer your questions. If you look in the show notes, you'll see a collection of where I'm teaching. Registration places that have registration, like Red Helmet Training, Rancho Cucamonga, California. Those links will be in there. And more to come for this year as we get back out on the road and start teaching. Alright, so here's our video today. There's a lot of good stuff going on here. There's obviously a lot of firefighting going on. You can see that the line's going around to the back, right? They're stretching it right now, so there are many places. I know some people are going, why are they stretching through the back? There are plenty of places where the primary fire attack is made through the back door, and there might just be a reason on this particular scene they're choosing to do that. But we're really looking at the smoke. Volume, velocity, density, color, a pretty significant volume, a little bit of turbulence. If they're going around the back, that's probably where the main body of the fire is. You can't see any. Note these windows. I'm always talking about these windows. There's nothing going on in these windows in the front, right? No sweating. I can't see any smoke pushed out around the edges and seams. There might be a little bit coming out around this door. It's a little bit hard to see here. But you know, you can sort of see maybe it's coming out underneath here, but not too much. And they're stretching to the rear. But what I wanted to point out this week is, yeah, we, you know, for sure, we have smoke in here. They've opened this up. They're going to go in there probably for some sort of VES operation. We have bidirectional flow here, so cool air going in. And we know that this room, the door to this room is probably open. But what we really are focusing our attention on this week is the attic, and we can see already with this volume and velocity, particularly the velocity coming out, pushing out of the edges and the seams of this roof, the fire's already in the attic or in the concealed spaces on its way to the attic. It might be in the wall in the rear, right? A little shot of the crews there and back, and you notice we're seeing some increase in our smoke here, so they probably don't have the fire attack underway just yet. And even as they get this fire attack underway, we're going to still watch along this edge, because we can see that the volume and velocity does not change here until we see later they get a fire attack up into that space, right? A little bit of a wind-fed fire. You can see the smoke coming out against the pressure and then folding back. And we're here at the back. Now we got the second line coming here. The officer's asking, hey, give me a hand with this one, right? Whenever we're laying a backup line, it's always a good idea to understand you're helping the primary line get to the scene of the fire is a good deal. And as we can see here, back it up just a little bit, but you can see that there was pretty good work in fire back here, and they've already got a good fire attack underway. Very, very little smoke, right? A very light smoke. Lots of white here, probably from the steam. And some residual smoke blowing out here too, but they're making good progress. And we'll let the video run just a bit, but as always with reading smoke, we're always looking at over the course of time, right? So over the course of time. So right now, we do have a working fire in the attic, like we noticed, right? We noticed that right off the bat. A lot of this white here from the fire attack underway, and they're probably going to push in here, make their way upstairs, and then hit this attic stuff, right? But if we move around front, we can see we do have a decrease. There was a decrease, I think we get another view of it here as we back up. Yeah, right. So the overall pretty significant drop here in the volume and velocity. Certainly thin. It's on the grayscale still, but light instead of dark, and definite decrease in volume from these front windows as they made the fire attack there, which is what we would expect, right? It's what we would expect is a decrease here, but we're still seeing some pretty good push out of the attic. Maybe the color's gone down a little bit, but we know we got that attic fire working right here. And so if I was watching this from the outside, I'd say, yeah, there's still definitely, in my mind, there's still definitely a fire in the attic, which just confirms our visual assessment from looking in the rear, right? There's nothing complicated here. We're just saying, hey, is what I see, is that lining up from point A to point B, and are we getting it, getting a good read on from the smoke based on what we're seeing? Right, so now we're back to the backside, and very shortly here we're going to see, and you can see now there's significant push velocity coming out around the penetration for the attic, and there was actually significant, I'll go back just a little bit, you can see there's a lot more significant smoke coming out of the attic than there was just a few seconds ago. But we're going to see this fire attack get underway, and then we can watch right around that attic or the chimney, and we'll see again what that looks like when we get that fire attack underway. I mean, right away, lots of, vast quantities, copious amounts of clean, pristine, dissipating white. Still some pretty good pressure around here from inside that attic space, but it's decreasing. Overall, it's going to start decreasing relatively rapidly with this fire attack underway in the attic space, right? They're going to vent directly over the seat of the fire, either just before or just after water applications, what I'd be looking for, but in this case they're just after. They're going to relieve some of that pressure. But you notice we're a definite decrease overall here, and the color's changing. We're starting to see white coming out of there instead of gray and black. All good signs, right? All good signs. And we're going to get a chance to go around the front of the building here in just a second. And boy, you can see, I mean, it's just right in here. You can see, if you look in here, you can see this almost nothing coming out there. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit now coming out around these places where we were looking before. Again, it's all in line, right? All these things are in line with the fire attack that we have going on the way. My guess is they're in line with the radio comms. The tactics, like all that stuff is coming together, which is great, right? That's what we want, is we want what we expect and what's actually occurring to be lining up with each other, right? And that's what happens most of the time. But occasionally things do get sideways, and then we look right here before we end the video. I'm going to stop it. Now we're at the point where virtually nothing coming out along this edge, nothing out from here. All of that velocity and density from around the attic that was coming out around this chimney, that's all gone in these last couple of seconds of video. And we'll take a look at that again, and that video is going to come and we're going to stop, right? And so as we look at this thing, this is just a good example of, we had some indicators up front. Nothing in the front through these windows. We did have smoke from the upstairs, meaning the door to that room was open. If we do in our VEIS, we get in there, boom, shut that door, and what's it's going to do is, if I'm outside watching a crew do that, and they pop in through here, and they're closing that door, that I in the VEIS, right? If they close that door, this smoke around these windows is going to go away almost completely, just like that. It's going to just drift off and be gone. We still be having that push out of this attic though, right? So like I said, when we're looking at these things, we want to have our expectations and then see, are our expectations being met or are they not being met? And then that's going to tell us if our fire attack's going the way we think it should, at the pace we think it should, the rhythm and flow of the fire ground, based on reading the smoke, reading the building, and understand what you got going on. All right. Hey, check out where I'm teaching in the show notes. Like and subscribe. Please share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Really like doing this video every week. We're 29 weeks into the YouTube session, so I think we're doing pretty good. And really appreciate everybody out there in the Reading Smoke Nation for being part of the show, sending in your comments, sending me questions. I really appreciate you guys being out there and giving me an opportunity to do a little bit of teaching on the art of reading smoke. And with that, this is Phil Jose, and I'm out.